Afternoon, everybody. Today we're here in DC, and I am going to be doing a Q&A with my elected Secretary of Homeland Security Farquad.
Hello.
So, for my last speech, we have said some of the points that I said I would do when I first get in office. First, eliminate harmful tariffs and restore trade relations. Maintain a neutral and peaceful foreign policy. And third, strengthen public safety through strategic investment. Also, I added a fourth one, which I feel it'll be benefit for our health. So I said making healthcare affordable again. So yeah. Any questions to start off now?
Yeah,
Anybody?
does the DHS have any questions about what their plan about the future is?
No.
No questions. All right. Well, if you could please give us a minute, would be right back with you shortly. hello. Good evening, citizens. We are coming to you live with exclusive coverage from the national election headquarters, where anticipation is building as we move closer to one of the most pivotal elections in our community's history. This is the first election in the community's history. That's why it's probably the most important yet. So tonight, we are welcoming to the stage presidential candidate Jay, who has known to being above all of his other nominees, and he's what we know is he already has a whole team and a group chat filled with all of his secretaries and nominees. And then next to him we have his newest nominee, Farquad. He has recommended that he takes the secretary of, or not secretary, he takes the Department of Homeland Security position. So both are representing amazing leadership. And a voice for the people. So please welcome presidential candidate Jay and DHS nominee Farquad. Okay, Jay.
All right. Hey, I'm presidential candidate Jay, and I'm here to answer questions that you have concerns on my 4 plans for office. So my 4 plans are going to be: first is eliminate harmful tariffs and restore trade relations. Second, maintain a neutral and peaceful foreign policy. Third, strengthen the public safety through strategic investment. And then fourth, making healthcare affordable again. Now I'll move it over to my Secretary Homeland Security guy to introduce himself.
Hello, citizens. What I plan to do is to reinforce the security and ensure the protection of our citizens. To do this, I will hire more officers and make sure grounds are more protected and work environments are more safe and secure for our country. I'm done.
All right, thank you. So can we start with any questions we have?
All right. The government system news has a couple of questions to ask for both candidates.
Okay, come
All
over
right.
here. Come over here. I feel like staying right here.
All right. So we've got a couple
Back.
questions to ask. Okay, this is for candidate Jay. What qualities are you looking for in your nominee of Secretary of Homeland Security?
I'm looking for somebody who's dedicated and hardworking, and it's going to show that they are going to succeed their goal that I have gave them. So, yes.
Does Farquad here fit those requirements?
Yes, he does. He's very active. Feel it, and seems very dedicated, and is asking me questions and saying, and make sure that they are right. Like the questions he's asked them, make sure these qualities are right for him, and make sure anything he needs to change, he should go by me and make sure that is right.
All right. Again, if you have anything to say, Farquad, you can just say after, in between, well, anything.
All right.
So this one's for Jay again. Will your DHS nominee, I'm sorry. Will your DHS nominee have prior experience in emergency response, border protection, or national security?
Repeat it, please. You mean like he has experience in those departments, or what?
Yeah. Does Farquad have any experience in any departments?
Yes. Yes, he does.
Farquad, which departments do you have experience with?
Over different servers, I've been a highly ranked officer.
All right.
I've been a U.S. Marshal of many other servers as well.
That's
I've de-escalated the conflict many times and saved many servers from collapse.
all right. All right. So, how do you like his experience, candidate Jay?
like it really well. Really well. I feel like he can fix conflicts and solve problems and make it more peaceful and keep the world safe. Also, he has one thing to say. Another thing of one of his experiences he has.
Then go ahead.
I've also participated in the FBI navigation and with the
Negotiator.
FBI.
It's negotiator. That's how you say it.
I've
You said it
negotiated
wrong.
many conflicts and de-escalated them, saving many countries and nations from collapse.
All right. Well,
I aim to do a passive policy which is pro-neutrality and establish good foreign relations with our neighbors.
all
So I want
right.
to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to say one thing. That I saw that he's a negotiator person who likes to stay in the negotiating field. So I guess he wants to solve problems. He wants to fix things, which that's why I really chose him. So yeah, next question.
All right. This one is for the DHS nominee. What are your top 3 priorities in your first month of office?
My top 3 priorities
Yes.
are to bolster the security and deter and lower the crime rate, to prevent any conflict with any other foreign nations and establish good diplomatic relations. I also aim to make the workplace a more calm and safe place, and hire more police.
All right. Jay, how do you feel about those priorities?
I like his priorities. He's trying to make the world more better, hire more people, making the crime go down, and arresting people who do not need to be on our streets, keeping more safety, and making everything more peaceful. Like I said, I want the world to be.
I also plan to reform the prison program, as instead of instituting a crude prison, which could which could lead to prisoners committing more crimes in the future, I want to make our prison a more place as if a rehabilitation zone, a second chance, per se, so that these prisoners don't commit crimes. Keep them off the street. Fix them, not via force and anger, but rather via just therapy and help. Make them a better person and reform them, not tough and crudely, softly, calmly. With this, we could have a better nation, and those prisoners can work jobs and bolster the economy and make our country better than what it already is.
All right. Now, Jay, if you were the oh my goodness, if you were the Secretary of the Homeland Security, how would those priorities be the same for you?
Yes, too, because I would want our economy to be better. I need our economy to be better so we can grow and be better and have a peaceful life and no conflict. Everybody's safe. Everybody's just living their best life. Nobody killing each other. Everybody's just living their best life and growing up to be somebody.
All right. Yes. So, this one's for the nominee. Um, how will you improve cooperation between local law enforcement, federal agencies, and other departments?
Is that for
Add
me or him?
better of communication and speaking, as in make walkie-talkies, say, have more range, may add new means, reform the communication, add group training so that these groups collide in their beliefs and what they've been taught.
All right. Now, there have been several
Do you know,
instances. Oh, please continue.
do you know in police training, over 180 hours are spent in firearms training, whereas only 6 hours are spent in de-escalation out of the whole police training. I aim to change that. Instead of fixing a problem that could happen, we should prevent that problem from happening. Teach the police how to de-escalate and calm down the situation. Of course, we have to teach them to handle if nothing goes smoothly, but we have to make sure most things go smoothly. And for that, we'll have to reform training as a group, as a whole, so that all the groups can speak together on equal footing. We will equip them with tools to help them in this process in this country.
All right. Well, um, Jay, do you have anything to say about that?
No.
All right. All right. See, there have been several instances where federal agencies like the FBI believe that local law enforcement doesn't have enough power or enough tools to um research and investigate a scene. What would you do if, let's say, the FBI takes over a local law enforcement operation?
What I shall do is have local law enforcement help. However, keep them at a distance. We should equip them better for this situation. Prevent the FBI from fully taking over the case so that local law enforcement have their use and can stamp out these crimes, whereas the FBI can tackle more important issues. Equip the local law enforcement better to handle these. If it has the potential to reach all the way to the FBI, we should provide the law enforcement with more equipment for this potential case.
All right. Yeah. Again, Jay, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I like his idea, and hopefully we can have a successful Department of Homeland Security.
All right. All right. This one's for you, Jay. Okay. This one's for you. Do you plan on giving your DHS nominee authority over server-wide or nationwide emergency protocols or National Guard activations?
Like, you mean like give them total like power to do it, be able to like
Yeah, would
deploy?
you give them the authority to deploy like emergency?
Not all the way. It's kind of like okay. I'll give them some, but not all. Some of them they would have to come through like higher departments, like come through me, and like the higher departments, like public safety and those departments, like mainly Department of Secretary of State, to see if the Secretary of State agrees on doing that for their state, kind of that state that they have people over. Because I'm not saying I don't want no conflict to happen, but I want it to be handled great in a good way, not in a way where we have to deploy a whole a whole unit out there just to handle it. We want it first to be tried to handle by the local law enforcement before we elevate up to the higher, the federal departments and
All
stuff.
right. What would you do in instances where you do not agree with your DHS nominee?
If we don't agree, we will try to figure out a way on which we both agree. If not, we will kindly try to do a vote and with the whole group of like our whole like cabinet to see if everybody agrees on that. If they do not, then we would just like have to come to a final decision if we're gonna do it or not. And we will seek aspirations on it and
Arbitration.
compromise. Aspiration, yeah, and compromise. Well, I saw this guy have a question. Will we lower gas price? Sorry,
Yes.
sir. This guy, he asked a question. Yeah, you. So yes, we will try to lower gas price. I gotta figure out. I still have to see why the price.
Because we're lowering or completely deleting the
Yeah,
concept
that
of
should help.
tariffs, what we can do is we can export more gas from abroad and make our country better.
Also, we can't export some oil from not Texas. You can do some of Texas from some U.S. grounds too. So don't worry. Some of that oil could be used for gas too. Yes, sir.
But you do understand you don't have control over the gas prices. It's based on the economy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We
that's why we're
don't.
trying to make the economy better and lower down by getting rid of tariffs, which is making inflation go up too. So yeah, we're gonna fix that.
Okay.
Make everything come down.
This one's for you, Jay. If your DHS nominee fails to meet experiences or expectations, um, are you prepared to remove them from office?
Uh, if he like, you mean like he like fails
If he
of
fails to
achieving
meet
the
your
goal?
requirements or expectations, would you remove him from office?
Yes and no. It just depends on the expectations. If it's something that we can help him get, then yes. Then no. But if it's something that we can't, then yes. It's
All
okay.
right.
It depends. It depends.
Farquhar, do you have anything to say about that?
If I feel that I'm not able to meet the requirements of my position and I'm not able to meet expectations, I will remove myself from office and then having Jay to do it. As if I feel I cannot personally meet the position, I will remove myself and take full responsibility for my actions.
You wouldn't appeal even if Jay decides to remove you?
I would appeal. I'm saying if I feel to myself that I'm not meeting my expectations, I will take myself out of office before Jay can do it.
All right. Jay, what do you have to say about that?
I would appeal him. No worries. I will give people second chances too. I believe that everybody has like failed one time. So like, don't worry. Everybody gets some second chances to do right. So I will give him another chance if needed for it to be help us be more successful.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Yes, about gasoline.
Hold on. Please give
The
me a
process
second.
of refining crude oil to gasoline also adds to
Oh, Kane's here.
refining crude oil.
What we
Well,
could do,
you have an idea?
what we could
I have
do,
to look at that. Yeah, you
what
talk.
we could do is buy the gasoline from abroad, not just the crude oil. We aren't planning to change the crude oil at all. We are planning to change the policy as to how we get the crude oil, not how the crude oil is converted into gasoline. Does that clear your points, Kane?
So what do you do with crude oil?
We will refine it. I'm saying, in terms of changing the crude oil into gasoline, that policy will remain the same. However, the way we get the crude oil and gasoline, that policy will differ as we are eliminating tariffs. That was a great question, Kane.
All right.
Yeah.
I personally have a couple of more questions, just like three more, I think.
All
Um.
right. Get on the list then.
Oh. How? Okay. This one's for Jay. Um. Actually, this one's for Farquad. Um. How would you handle interstate threats or server raids involving other servers and states?
In that case, what I'm planning to do, I'm planning to establish the police, expand them, and also make a small pool of backup manpower police in case something happens to an officer while in the line of duty. We have some manpower to default on. So, in the case, if a server raid happens, we will deploy part of that manpower pool to negate and clear out the raid. And for the threats, we will handle it on our own via the manpower pool. We will also use more gear. We will also use better and more advanced equipment to deal with this situation.
All right. 1 second, please.
Mm, 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 mm. Wasn't the commercial break?
Doing great.
We're doing
Yeah.
great. It's not one for
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay. Um. Sorry. What steps will you, Farquad, take to balance security with civil liberties and fair treatment of all citizens?
We will keep the police code the same. However, we will reform the training as to how the police are treat must treat the civilians, as they are civilians and they have many rights over us. Yet, however, they have to remain cooperative. If a police officer were to violate the law, they will be punished and we will review their actions accordingly and take action regarding what we think.
Now, what would you do to protect the citizens if an officer does irreversible damage to a civilian?
We will review the actions and the ways of how the officer did the task. If we find the misconduct conducted by the officer is wrongful, the officer will be stripped of their position and job and will lose many privileges and have potential jail time.
All right. Now this is the final question. And it's for Farquad. Sorry. How would you consult with other departments such as the Department of Transportation, the Department of Justice, and the or the intelligence community before enhancing or passing other security policies?
We will take a group review what the policies accordingly together and meet and organize a private meeting and do polls as to what everyone thinks. And only then we can state the policy. And
All right. Well, that's all the questions for me. If Jay, oh, we got one for Kane. Do you know the
that
policy between FBI and them taking over police investigations?
yes. So if the FBI can suggest that they should get involved, we will take a review. And if we think that they shouldn't get involved, we will provide the local law enforcement with better equipment and put more manpower into this case. However, if we think they should get involved, we will rightfully put them to the case and detach and we'll give them more autonomy in the case. So they'll have to work a little bit more on their own and they have more freedom to do what they think regarding the case if we feel that it's needed. And it also depends on the suspects, who it is, what they should do, the background. All of this matters in regards to the FBI taking over the case.
All right. Well, that's gonna be it for all of.
Thank you for your question.
Yes, that's gonna be it for all of my questions. We're gonna go on a short commercial break. So, if the community has any questions, you can DM either Jay, me, or Farquad here. So we're gonna gather some questions and then we'll be back in a bit. So here's a commercial break. We are back. Government system community. Oh my goodness. Well, we got no questions for like 10 minutes, so candidates gotta do stuff, DHS gotta write stuff. So we're just going to stop it right here. We hope you have a good rest of your day. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. So
Yeah.
have a good day. We're done with the
Vote for Jim.
this time's live stream, so not news segment.
Hey,
So we're done
vote
for
for
today.
Jim.
Goodbye.
Okay.